Hello, everyone. I hope this message finds you all healthy and safe with your families. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tim Wolf. I'm the chair of the Department of Occupational Therapy at University of Missouri. On behalf of the faculty and staff in the Department of Occupational Therapy, I want to welcome you to the 2020 Annual Awards Ceremony. I want to start off by saying thank you to Dr. Bill James, Stephanie Allen, and the Class of 2020 Planning Committee for all your hard work in planning this event. While it's unfortunate we cannot be together to celebrate this occasion, we are very happy to be able to share this event with you and to celebrate your achievements in our program. We want to congratulate those of you who are also graduating today, and we'll be working very hard to make sure the rest of your class will be joining you soon. Your time here always goes very fast, and this event is special to all of us in the program as we get to celebrate you one final time before you start your professional journey. To get things started, the Class of 2020 Planning Committee would like to share a slideshow of their time together in our program.
Thank you to everyone who contributed pictures, and to Katie Braden for putting together the slideshow. My name is Bailey Brumser, and I am the 2019 Student Occupational Therapy Association President. It is my honor to speak to you today. 2 years ago, we all met for the first time in the basement classroom that would quickly become the setting for some of our favorite college memories. In that short amount of time, we've each accomplished a huge goal: to earn a master's degree in occupational therapy. I know I couldn't have done that without a lot of help, and on behalf of the MUOT class of 2020, I want to extend many thanks. To our support systems, thank you for listening to us when we were stressed about something you didn't necessarily understand, offering words of encouragement exactly when we needed them, and celebrating with us when we did well in an exam, had a really great session with a client, or found a new reason to love our profession. Because of you, we are able to devote ourselves to our educational and professional advancement wholeheartedly, knowing that you'd be cheering us on every step of the way. To our professors, thank you for your continued investment in our personal, professional, and clinical development. Each one of you has a passion for OT that is completely contagious, and you demonstrated that to us every single day. We will miss being able to judge the day's weather forecast based on the presence or absence of Whitney's dog in the classroom, the candy bowl that never seemed to have a bottom in Leanne's office, earning stickers for our hard work in class with Winnie, homemade cookies from Rachel and her son, Anna's infectious laughter, listening to Tiffany apply OT concepts to coaching T-ball, getting life updates from Crystal's Facebook page at the beginning of class, daily trivia with Gina, and spotting Tim on TV at sporting events hanging out with celebrities. And while we will miss hearing from him all the time, for his sake as much as ours, we look forward to a day when Bill's weekly COVID-19 update emails come to an end. While you guided us on ethical practices and instilled within us core values, you also trusted our ability to form our own opinions and beliefs, which inspired our confidence as young professionals. The tests we studied for so many hours focused on theories, diagnoses, assessments, and interventions, but we learned so much more than that from you. Your dedication and compassion could not be found in any textbook, yet these were the qualities that were among the most important things you taught us in the classroom every day. Though you never could have predicted what we would be faced with this semester, you prepared us to be adaptable practitioners who would continue to provide our clients with the best care despite the circumstances. And to my classmates, thank you for using your diverse experiences and perspectives to challenge the rest of us to think more deeply and grow as individuals. As the world of healthcare shifts beneath our feet before we've even found solid footing, know that we are becoming more empathetic practitioners who can better relate to the challenges our clients have been faced with as their worlds seemingly crumble around them too. We've recently learned that the personal connections that we took for granted just a few months ago are more important to our well-being than we ever could have imagined. As OTs, we can go forward with an understanding of how important these connections are to our clients as well, and strive to foster them. As individuals, we can continue to maintain our connections with family, friends, and each other so that we can continue to learn and grow. I look forward to a day, maybe at a homecoming tailgate or AOTA conference happy hour, when we can gather together again to celebrate this journey we have shared and the good each of you has done in the world. I am so glad to have you as my colleagues and to get a front row seat to watch each one of you succeed. It is now my pleasure to introduce our featured faculty speaker. Dr. Winnie Dunn earned her Bachelor of Science degree in Occupational Therapy from Mizzou in 1972 and her Master's in Education the following year. She went on to earn a PhD in Neurobehavioral Development from the University of Kansas in 1983. She was chair of the Department of Occupational Therapy Education at KU for 30 years and returned home to Mizzou in 2017 as Distinguished Professor in Occupational Therapy. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Winnie Dunn.
I'm so happy to be here with you today. As students and faculty know, I like to use storytelling to illustrate important concepts. So let's dive into a story. When I was a young faculty member, I was working on a team research project, and the findings came out very differently than the literature had suggested would happen. We checked our work over and over again and continued to verify that we had completed the analyses correctly. I'm sure you can imagine how reluctant we were to discuss our findings with our mentor. I thought having unexpected findings meant we failed because we did not support our hypothesis that we created based on the literature. We reluctantly discussed the findings with our mentor, and he got a delighted smile on his face and said, "I hope you continue to have these unexpected findings." Needless to say, part of me was relieved that he wasn't mad or disappointed, but this was not what I expected to hear, and I didn't exactly know what he meant at the time. But over the years, I've come to appreciate this advice more than I would have ever expected. And I've even given this advice to my own doctoral students. Here's what I understand now. I understand that when a project goes as expected, we assume that all of our ideas that we had that led to our plans were correct when they may or may not have been correct. The fact is that we don't think about outcomes anymore when they happen as we expect them to. When I get findings that are unexpected, I have to pause. I look at my methods and concepts I use to interpret my observations and my data. If I find that I did all the procedures correctly, then I know I'm faced with a truth that I need to understand. These are the moments when deep thinking occurs. We don't think deeply about things that happen the way we expect them to because we assume that our ideas were correct. When something goes differently than we expect, we have to wonder. We have to be curious. We have to consider what that unexpected finding actually means. This has happened to me many times in practice and in the research I've done in my career. I've actually come to appreciate the fact that pausing is where we figure out new ideas. It's where we have a chance to think a different way about something that has been routine in the past. It's where we uncover truths that were waiting for us to find them. This exact thing happened to me when I was working on the sensory profile. I completed data collection on about 1,200 families, and my hypothesis was that each sensory system, like touch and hearing, would be its own separate concept. So imagine my horror when the sensory systems clustered together in my analyses. I checked and rechecked, and everything was in order. So a new truth was staring at me, inviting me to have insight if I was willing to be curious, courageous, and creative in figuring out what this new truth meant. Today, we talk about seekers, avoiders, sensors, and bystanders without much fanfare. Those now commonplace terms that we use to describe people's sensory patterns emerged from an unexpected outcome of a study that I thought had gone awry. I'm also betting that each of you have encountered some new truths about yourself these last weeks sheltering in place. You didn't expect to finish your grad school online. You didn't ever imagine that you'd be staying at home for weeks on end. What do you know now that you wouldn't have understood without this unexpected circumstance? How can these new insights be useful to you as you embark on a career of serving others? So in this graduation season, I want you to think about what you're going to do with the unexpected, the unpredictable, and the results that didn't turn out the way you thought they would. We can either dismiss them as an anomaly, or we can pause and think about their meanings and get to know other truths that are waiting for us to discover them. And with even more curiosity and even more courage, I invite you to pause even when everything goes as expected. What made things go well? What might have been a weak link that still did not affect your outcome? Even good outcomes provide insights when we are all willing to pause and discover what led to our success. So I ask you to continue to be curious enough, courageous enough to ask why a practice you're using is working, as well as why a practice is not working with the people you're serving. I invite you to be willing to hear a family's story about what matters to them, what interests them, what their routines look like, and what they want their routines to look like, trusting that your education has prepared you to see the therapeutic opportunities in anything a person or family says. Rather than imposing our protocols and procedures on people because that's what we are familiar with, I beckon you to foster your own creativity, to discover how people you are serving want their lives to be. Always remember that we have the intimate opportunity to visit another person's life and see the possibilities within them and their chosen path. You must remain curious, courageous, and creative to meet the highest standard of what occupational therapy can be in service to others. I look forward to seeing what you create. Enjoy your summer.
Next, the department faculty will present awards to students and some of our community partners. First up is Tiffany Bolton, who will present our Outstanding Alumni Award.
Heather Turner is a 1997 graduate of our program. Heather serves as a tutor in our case-based learning course each fall semester and receives consistent positive reviews from students in regards to her knowledge. As the course coordinator, I've had the opportunity to work closely with her, and I know that she genuinely cares about the student learning experience and provides comprehensive and thoughtful feedback beyond the expectation for the course. In addition to her work with our students, she is also heavily involved in case management as the manager of care coordination for the University of Missouri. She has extensive knowledge of holistic care and continuously advocates for the OT role within the entire system. She provides education on a daily basis to OTs, PTs, SLPs, and other related disciplines, and is a true example of outstanding alumni. So please help me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Alumni Award to Heather Turner. Our next award is our Outstanding OT Advocate Award. This award goes to Bobby Clark, an individual who has shown great interest in our profession and dedication to her son's development in collaboration with OT. She is gracious every semester about meeting new students and establishing relationships from scratch because she knows it's important for students to learn from the ground up. Bobby also takes the time to talk with her son and present a goal to our OT students that challenges them, but more importantly, helps her son to be the best version of himself. I've had the pleasure of knowing this family since Hunter was 18 months old, and I can safely say that he would not be where he is in this world without the advocacy and determination from his mother to stay invested in OT services. This has been a true partnership between our profession and Hunter's mom, Bobby Clark, who I'm proud to name as this year's recipient of our Advocate Award. Please join us in congratulating and thanking Bobby.
Each year, the Occupational Therapy Department recognizes a fieldwork educator or a team of fieldwork educators who have provided an exceptional educational experience over the previous year. The 2020 recipient of the Outstanding Academic Fieldwork Educator Award is Genevieve Bratz. Genevieve is an occupational therapist at Roper St. Francis Rehabilitation Hospital in Charleston, South Carolina, where she taught Molly Anderson. Molly says that Jen was able to provide a variety of feedback. She catered to how I received feedback best and constantly checked in to see how I was feeling about the caseload, if I was feeling overwhelmed, or if I wanted more. She knew exactly how to challenge me and reminded me of why I went into the field. Jen set a wonderful example by always making sure that clients' needs were met, their rooms were cleaned, and they got real caffeinated coffee from the nurse's station, not the watered-down fake stuff on their breakfast tray. Jen embodies the client-centered spirit we hope to see from occupational therapists everywhere, especially grads of this program. We are pleased to present Genevieve Bratz with the Outstanding Academic Fieldwork Educator Award.
Founded to promote scholarship in the allied health professions, Alpha Eta members from the graduating class are nominated by the faculty to the university's chapter. Selection is based upon academic and leadership achievement. Candidates must have also maintained a 3.5 GPA or better while enrolled in the program. Membership is limited to no more than 20% of the graduating class. This year's inductees from occupational therapy are Bethany Erlmeyer, Kyle Ann Rasmussen, Molly Anderson, Maren Gandelmeyer, Brianna Perry, Bailey Bremser, Ashley Roberts, Madison Shansmeyer, Julie Groblinghoff, and Alexandra Pierce. Congratulations to you all. I would now like to introduce Drs. Crystal Gailey, Whitney Henderson, and Bill James to present the Tribute Awards.
Tribute awards are in recognition of those graduates who have been committed to continued professional growth and development and who have demonstrated the value of service, creativity, and the importance of human occupation. This year, there are 3 tribute awardees. This year's first tribute award is for outstanding leadership and professional advocacy, and the recipient is Victoria Trost. Victoria has been an outstanding advocate for our department, our profession, and the entire School of Health Professions during her time in our program. As an undergraduate, Victoria was a Division I student athlete on the Mizzou women's swimming and diving team. During her time in our program, she was able to continue her love for the water through active involvement with the swim program, which provides swimming and water instruction modification for children with autism spectrum disorder and other neurodevelopmental conditions. Victoria served as a School of Health Professions student ambassador for 4 years and was also selected as a graduate assistant, working directly with the SHP recruitment coordinator to highlight all the awesome things about SHP. She was an obvious choice when department faculty selected a group of students from her cohort to serve as MUOT student ambassadors. Over the past 2 years, Victoria served in many capacities to help recruit students to our program, including providing one-on-one meetings with pre-OT students, leading department tours, helping with new student orientation, and assisting with numerous open house events and career fairs. Victoria was elected as president of the MUOT chapter of Pi Theta Epsilon, an honor society for OT students and alumni. She also served as the AOTA Assembly of Student Delegates representative for our campus chapter of the Student Occupational Therapy Association. In March 2020, Victoria was named as a recipient of the prestigious Mizzou 18 Award, which recognizes the top 18 students on campus at the graduate and professional level in terms of their scholarship, collaboration with faculty, and demonstrated leadership with undergraduate students. We have no doubt that Victoria will continue to serve as a leader and advocate for our profession as she embarks upon her OT career. Congratulations, Victoria.
This tribute award is for a student that demonstrates outstanding excellence in service. Sean Evans truly embraced his role as a student ambassador in our program. As an ambassador, he frequently engaged in meetings with prospective students and their families to educate them about our program and to provide tours of our space. Faculty frequently receive feedback about their positive and valuable interactions with this individual. In fact, many reported this was the primary reason for selecting MUOT. In addition, he participated in numerous campus presentations and activities to teach students of a variety of ages and backgrounds about occupational therapy. He even created educational materials and delivered a presentation to students in his hometown over a holiday break. His service to our department is unparalleled. In addition, his fieldwork educator also said, and I quote, "I just wanted to write you to let you know how wonderful it has been to have Sean as a fieldwork student. He has completely renewed my outlook on having students. I have enjoyed his professionalism and ability to collaborate to help me identify ways I can better our pediatric program. He has helped me to put together and provide an in-service on appropriate use of a sensory room within a school district, make posters for a sensory room and our pediatric treatment room, and put together a document to help students more easily administer the PDMS2. He has a great way of identifying problem areas and finding solutions to make things run more efficiently. We have been talking about ways to reorganize the pediatric treatment room and haven't had the time yet in our day to work on this. Sean came in on a weekend without being asked and completed the project himself so that the room could better serve the kiddos we see. I haven't taken the time to write a school about a student yet, but I felt that this hard work warranted me telling you about how thankful I am for him. When our fieldwork coordinator shared this information with us, the faculty were not surprised, as this is the same stand-up character and steadfast commitment he demonstrated while in our classrooms and in our clinics. We have no doubt Sean Evans will continue to represent and serve our department and profession with outstanding character and dedication.
This year's third tribute award recognizes a student who has demonstrated perseverance and engagement in the face of challenging circumstances. The entire class of 2020 knows a thing or two about challenging circumstances, but none have handled them better than Alexis Curry. Alexis consistently faces professional and personal challenges as opportunities for growth and development. When family obligations kept her away from class for extended periods, she worked tirelessly to meet and exceed expectations. When her coursework did not meet her own expectations, she redoubled her efforts and said, "I don't really care about the grade. I want to know that I can do this." Alexis' fieldwork experience has been an adventure, even by the standards of this class. She could have given up at any point. Instead, she set the example for her class and for the entire program. But what really stands out most is how much Alexis looks out for those around her. No matter how bleak the situation, Alexis consistently catches us off guard by asking how the other person is doing. On behalf of the entire faculty, I am proud to present Alexis Curry with the Tribute Award for Academic Achievement, Perseverance, and Engagement.
The MUOT Excellence in Student Research Award is voted on by the faculty and is awarded to a research project group. It is my honor to present this award to Brianna Perry and Kyle-Ann Rasmussen for their project entitled Feasibility of Customized 3D Printed Assistive Technology within an Existing Multidisciplinary ALS Clinic. Both Brianna and Kyle-Ann showed a rare combination of astute clinical observation, creative thinking, and intellectual curiosity. Those traits allowed them to coax meaningful information from patients and family, brainstorm solutions to complex problems, and rigorously test their ideas. Once a month, they devoted additional time outside of their coursework to participating in an ALS clinic hosted by MU. Because of their work using 3D printing to make assistive devices, people living with ALS across mid-Missouri are keeping the ability to write, eat, maintain hygiene, and communicate with their families. Their work is a significant contribution to the occupational therapy field, and they continue to push the boundaries of practice and technologies. They have submitted the manuscript about their work for publication in the hopes that other ALS clinics across the country can learn from their experience. Congratulations to Brianna and Kyle-Ann.
Next, we have the Diana Baldwin Leadership Advocacy Award. This honor is awarded to a graduating student who has a strength of commitment to and skills to address the needs of those challenged to have meaningful participation in daily life and to engage in opportunities to influence the well-being of a wider community. It is intended to recognize students who demonstrate participation in activities that advocate for an individual's right to engage in meaningful occupations and have full participation in life. This year, we're awarding 2 students. The first student, Molly Anderson, is receiving this award because she consistently served her peers and community in significant ways and was nominated by peers and awarded for her leadership abilities with Mizzou Alternative Spring Breaks. In our program, she was elected and served as our Student Occupational Therapy Association Vice President and was a member of Phi Theta Epsilon. She's a tireless advocate for people with disabilities. Molly is grounded, flexible, and sassy. Her impeccable memory saved me countless times as she never failed to be observant and engaged at all times. She cares deeply about everyone she meets in a tangible way. And I think that's a quality that's essential in our jobs as OTs and what makes her deserving of this award of Outstanding Student. I'm honored to present the Diana Baldwin Leadership and Advocacy Award to Molly Anderson. Congrats, Molly.
The second Diana Baldwin Leadership and Advocacy Award goes to Morgan Momo Montado. A student who has shown herself to be a leader and an advocate on many occasions and at many levels. In the classroom, I first witnessed Morgan advocating for the addition of animal-assisted therapy training through the addition of her canine companion, Elroy. In the community, she and a classmate worked diligently to reintegrate a stroke survivor into the local community through kickboxing. On a departmental level, she has also been instrumental in coordinating the Student Occupational Therapy Association volunteer opportunities and clothing orders, and has been one of the first smiles seen by potential OT students and families by serving as a student ambassador. Nationally, she has represented Mizzou at the AOTA conference in New Orleans as Secretary of the Student Occupational Therapy Association. It has been my privilege to work this year with Morgan, who has brought sunshine to the Show Me State, and it has been my honor on behalf of the faculty to present the Diana Baldwin Leadership and Advocacy Award to Morgan Montado. Congratulations, Momo.
The Marilyn Blanky Brashler Outstanding Student Award honors the first curriculum director. It is my honor and privilege to present this award to Michaela Stubbs. Michaela truly excels in every area as a student. She has succeeded academically while still significantly contributing to the learning of her peers. Always one to lend a hand, she has a way of explaining difficult or complex concepts to her peers when we as a faculty struggle to do so. She figuratively and literally jumps into her roles feet first. In her role as student co-director of the swim program, Michaela hopped into the pool in front of more than 20 people to demonstrate a training with a child she had never met. She moves through life with grace and always has a smile on her face. She brings unique skills like speaking German or baking delicious cookies into her role as an occupational therapy student. I had the pleasure of working alongside her in my research and observed as she professionally handled the unpredictable nature of clinical research. Congratulations to Michaela, and well deserved.
Our next award is the Mary Alice Woods Occupational Therapy Scholarship for Outstanding Clinical Performance in Mental Health Practice. This year's recipient is Kate Skolton. This award honors the memory of an MU graduate and clinical instructor, Mary Alice Woods. It is funded by an endowment contributed by Friends of Mary Alice Woods and MU Occupational Therapy alumni. This scholarship is awarded annually to a graduating student who has demonstrated excellence in clinical performance in mental health practice. The recipient is selected by the faculty with input from fieldwork supervisors. Prior to entering the MUOT program, Kate competed as a Division I student athlete playing volleyball at Bowling Green State University. She has consistently exhibited a love for working with individuals with a variety of cognitive and psychosocial challenges. As an applicant 2 years ago, one thing that stood out to the admissions committee was her enthusiasm about a volunteer position with the Miriam Academy in St. Louis, where she helped high school students with disabilities learn useful life skills. While enrolled in our program, Kate worked as a behavioral specialist at Coyote Hill Children's Home with neglected and abused children in the foster care system. She often shared stories during class discussion to highlight many of the topics we were learning about in class. She embraced a challenging one-week fieldwork experience at the Center Behavioral Medicine in Kansas City, where she worked with individuals diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder who had been found incompetent to stand trial. Kate was also interested in completing a level 2 fieldwork rotation that would give her additional experience in the mental health arena. Her recent fieldwork at Moberly Regional Medical Center allowed her the opportunity to work with adult and geriatric clients in an inpatient psychiatric unit. In summary, Kate embodies the understanding, respect, and compassion for all individuals upon which our profession is founded, and we are proud to recognize her with this award. Congratulations, Kate.
The Unsung Hero Award was developed by the MUOT class of 2018 as a way for students to identify fellow classmates who deserve recognition for their contributions as a friend to all and who is a positive influence for others. In particular, in an era when too many people do not choose kindness, individuals who always choose kindness deserve recognition. This year's award recipient is Michaela Stubbs. Michaela was recognized by her peers for her willingness to help out others and for always going above and beyond in all she does. She was described by her peers with comments such as, she was always an informal group leader. She volunteered to do extra work, spent countless hours in the lab, and always had a positive attitude while doing so. She is always putting her classmates ahead of herself. She comes up with really creative examples in class if the majority of us are struggling to understand a concept. She's always smiling and very welcoming to others. She's always willing to help, always has thoughtful things to say. She's dependable and truly cares about the program and the classmates as a whole. Please join me in congratulating Michaela Stubbs as this year's recipient of the Unsung Hero Award. As we conclude this awards ceremony, I want to acknowledge that all of you will be entering our profession at a challenging time. While this pandemic is not something I nor any of the faculty have experienced in our careers, adversity is nothing new for our profession. We were founded over 100 years ago when the world was at war and our country was facing a great deal of uncertainty and loss. As a profession, we are called upon to help people, especially those at the front lines of the war, focus on occupation as a means to recover and maintain health. It called on every ounce of our creativity, adaptability, compassion, and will to meet this need. Today and the days to come will again call on our profession in ways we have not been tested before. I'm in awe every day as I have conversations with colleagues and former students at the front lines of this fight who are constantly having to come up with new ways to help their patients and coworkers. In the days to come and the aftermath of this pandemic, we will be a nation of people who are experiencing mental and physical health challenges at unprecedented levels as we try to figure out how to reintegrate back into a society that will be novel to us. The need for a profession with a unique focus on occupation as a means to improve health and well-being is as salient today as it was in 1917. As you start your professional journey, I want to give you 2 pieces of advice. First, you are ready. We wouldn't send you if you weren't. Like all things in life, there'll be challenges, especially early on, which may raise some self-doubt, but always remember that you are ready for the challenge. Second, you will not be going out alone. One of the characteristics we evaluate applicants to our program on is their ability to work as a team. From the time you set foot in our building, we have consistently tested your ability to work as a team. and provided opportunities to refine your skills. Every day you go to work for the rest of your career, you will have to rely on others, and others will have to rely on you. Always remember that the department is here to support you as well. Questions, comments, joys, concerns, we are happy to hear them all. People, buildings, names, and programs may all change, but the Department of Occupational Therapy at University of Missouri will always be here for you and for our profession. We wish you all the very best as you continue your professional journey. In closing, the class of 2020 would like to share a slideshow to thank the people who helped them during their OT journey.